the bigger dream is that one day we won't have to live in a world where representation matters, right? But it is the most important thing right now.
You ready to play chicken?
What in the gay hell?
You know what that's called? Healing.
I want to feel alive again.
Whoa. Are you gay?
So, hi, Devin. Hi, Johnny.
Hi.
Thank you so much for having me. I watched the first 3 episodes of Queer as Folk, and I absolutely loved it. I didn't watch the original series because I was 3 years old. Now I'm 25. Now I can get all the nuances of the series. And the first question that I have for you is, what was the funniest and the most emotional scene to shoot?
The funniest scene for me personally shoot was a scene where I think it's at the end of episode 3. It's a very serious scene, and it's emotional. We're saying goodbye to a friend, and but on the backside of that, the not acting side, it was a scene where we all got to be together, and we are just like, it was a comedy of errors. In the scene, we have to grab something and throw it into the air, and every time we did that, we would just be completely head to toe covered in dirt. It was, we were laughing so hard, we were sobbing. And so they were like, okay, don't throw any more of this stuff. Just fake it. And then it was just people were throwing it. It was hilarious.
Yeah. For me, the most emotional scenes were anything that was shot in the hospital that you see in the first episode. That first week or 2 that we shot that, it was just, I was like a shell of a human being, because it was very sad. But then exactly what Devin said, that one scene that we shot where we just could not stop laughing uncontrollably. It was like when your parents are like, okay, and then you just keep laughing because it's so funny. But it also just made us feel so much closer as a family. It was so fun.
Yeah, the first episode, there is a viewer disclaimer. And when the shooting happened, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And it has the disclaimer, and I was absolutely shocked by the scene. And the series is already very important, the first one. And now we have more representation, more LGBTQIA plus representation, and Latinx representation, Black representation. And how do you see the future legacy of the reboot?
Oh gosh, I hope, it's one of those things where people can say that was the first time I saw myself reflected on a TV show. Hopefully it'll be, seen in a couple years as that was us then, but we've got so many more stories to tell now. Kind of like the past Queer as Folks. I hope we're just part of, I said this the other day, we're part of this brick that we're building this larger community, this bigger house of people. So that's what I hope.
And what about you, Devin?
Yeah, I have a similar hope to Johnny, in terms of building this house that is community, that is not just, the bigger dream is that one day we won't have to live in a world where representation matters, right? But it is the most important thing right now. It is the fact that people know that, and the things that they're absorbing, that they are worthy enough to be seen, that their stories have value, that their skin color has value, their life has value, everything has value, right? And it is within that value that I believe that stories should be told equally. And so for me, that's my hope, is that our story in future legacies inspires people to keep telling stories authentically.
I talked to Stephen Dunn last Thursday, and he said the same thing. And I came out when I was 19. It was about 6 years ago, and I still didn't see much representation. And I can't even begin to talk about my trans friends. So this series is absolutely amazing when we're talking about queer representation. And do you know, I don't know if you can tell me, but I hope so. Do you know if there's going to be a season 2? If you're already filming?
No, they haven't told us yet. So
okay.
Yes.
Told us, but we're hoping.
Yes, I'm hoping to. And did you bring any personal experiences to create the story, to create the characters that you portray?
Yeah, absolutely. The gift of telling, of hiring people who have these authentic lived experiences is that it gets to become a partnership. So not only were the writers queer storytellers, which kind of freed us from having to like micromanage like words and be like, well, we don't actually talk like that. But we got to be queer. Well, we're queer actors who then got to marry with the writing and go, like, oh, okay, well, because I'm from the South, I wouldn't actually say this word like this. I'd say it like this. And they'd be like, oh, okay, awesome. Let's do it like that. So it was a really gorgeous partnership of just queer joy and iron sharpening iron, if you will.
I feel like it's also one of those things you read the script and you see all the different characters and what they go through. And even characters that I am not playing, I'm like, oh yeah, I've been through that, or I've seen that happen, or, you know, this has happened to a friend of mine. So I think going into playing these roles, you know, for me with Noah specifically, there's definitely been a lot of heartbreak that I've gone through as a gay man that I was able to bring to the table when telling these stories. So yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where you get to read it and you're like, oh my God, yes, I know exactly how this feels, because you don't always get that a lot of times when you do work. So it was a gift.
And I'm assuming that you watched the first series, right? The original series?
No, it was airing. I was also too young, but I did go back and watch it.
And how did you guys feel by bringing, because Queer as Folk is a landmark on TV, and now I believe it will be another landmark on TV because there's, like I said, so much representation. And how did you feel being cast in this reboot?
Oh, there's literally, I have a video.
For me.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Johnny.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, okay. No, and there's this video of me when I found out that I got it. I legitimately just fall to the ground and I'm sobbing, like literally. And I remember I just got another audition to audition to be Santa Claus for some like movie. And one of the first things that came out of my mouth was, I was like, I'm just so happy I don't have to be Santa. And so it was just this really special moment of, wow, are all my dreams really coming true in a way that is authentic to me right now? And the answer is yes.
Yeah, I tell this all the time, but when I found out, I like screamed in the middle of the street. And it was just like, yes, because it felt like such a dream come true. I mean, it's truly the dream job to get to work with other people that are very much like you and also very, very different than you. And, you know, tell stories about, you know, a community that has, you know, given you so much love and so much life. So yeah, it was definitely a dream come true.
Okay, unfortunately, that's all the time we have. I think there's 1 minute left and you answered all of my questions. So thank you so much for the opportunity. The series is amazing. You guys are amazing. And I laughed and I cried for every single episode that I watched. And congratulations. And thank you so much for having me. It was a joy talking to you.
Thanks, Iago.